Was there much out there regarding your character? I mean, or did you sort of treat her as a sort of fictional creation?
I just went with what was in the script. I didn't feel like I had to delve very deep because there was nothing extra I felt I needed to know. But when I read Christopher Robin Milne's memoir, there was a lot about how he felt about Olive, his nanny, but not a lot about her background. But it wasn't really necessary anyway.
Because, I mean, she's so incredibly nice. She almost reminded me of Miss Honey from Matilda.
I
in
know.
that regard. I mean, we all had a person like that, I guess, in our life. What was your equivalent of Olive?
Well, I never had a nanny. I definitely wasn't that child. I don't know. I think my mum really, if you're talking about female figures in my life, that she's had the greatest influence on me.
And one of the things I love most about this movie is that kind of the way we kind of examine this sort of limitless imagination we have in our childhood. Mm-hmm. And I just wonder, do you miss that kind of spontaneity? Because as adults, we just think about things far too much. Like even the way he calls Tigger Tigger, we'd be sitting there thinking, what's a good name for a tiger? And we'd spend a week trying to do it, and he just says
comes up. I know children are amazing. They do. I've got 2 kids, and every day I kind of want to write down the things that they say and the things they come up with. My son at one point, it was a really windy day, and my son was in the back of the car, and he said, oh, it's like the trees are dancing. I was just like, oh! Yeah.
I'm going to steal that one. Mm-hmm. Pretend I've come up with it as an adult. Obviously, you work very closely with Will in this, and I've just met him. He's such a sweet kid. Mm-hmm. It must have been a real joy spending that amount of time with him.
Oh, he's a complete delight and a complete scene stealer, and I hate him.
Because Donal said that he cried when he said goodbye to Will. Was he the only one to shed any tears?
Donal cried, did he?
Yeah.
I don't know if I cried. It was a really lovely job. So it was one that I was sad to finish. But I'm really lucky. I quite often am in that position.
And what do you think it is? I mean, obviously the film is very much celebrating as well the sort of the world of Winnie the Pooh. I mean, what do you think it is about this story that still has such universal kind of resonance now? I mean, I was obsessed with this story when I was a kid.
Yeah. Well, I think that good writing does that. I mean, it doesn't matter. Shakespeare has lasted this long, and I think generation to generation, the same things move us, the same things make us happy, and I think A.E. Milne was just a very talented writer.
And what was your favourite children's book when you were growing up?
I, weirdly, because we're doing this in a hotel that's got Ladybird books in frames all over the place, and I had a lot of the Ladybird bird books. I'm not drunk, I really promise I'm not drunk. But I had a lot of those books, and so it was all, Rapunzel, and there was one called Snow White and Rose Red, and so they were my go-tos.
You're in Holmes and Watson, I believe.
Yes.
How do you fit into that story?
I play Mrs. Hudson, the housekeeper, and she's a terrible housekeeper, and they're always furious with her about something. So I spent a couple of months being shouted at by Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly.
I'd pay to have that happen. Because I did a set visit for the movie at Hampton Court, and I saw them shoot the same scene maybe 50 times in one day, and I laughed every single time. How did you manage it to spend that? Like, it's just even just their faces when they arrive.
I was worried about corpsing, and there was definite moments on set where everybody burst out laughing, but it was generally after cut. The crew and everybody would start roaring with laughter. But there was a bit of this going. I found that if I really nip the skin of my hand, that'll stop me from laughing out loud. But the eyes always give you away. So
if we just see you in the shoot, just sort of slowly let me know exactly what's happening. Have you seen Step Brothers before? Because I think that might be my favourite comedy.
It's amazing. They're incredible. Yeah. They should always work together.
Yeah. I just met Donal as well, and he was really funny. I mean, what was it like working, because obviously in this movie you shoot most of your scenes really with Will, Donal and Margot.
Yeah.
What was it like working with Donal and Margot in this film?
Amazing. It was, Donal's such a talent. Everybody is. It's a real honour to work with people. I'm at a level, I've been doing this for 20 plus years, and they're just young'uns, and I feel very privileged to work with their talent, really. And Donal is exceptional. They both are, but Donal is someone that can go, he does drama so well, but he can do comedy amazingly well as well, and I think and he can play the leading man, but he can also be the character type actor in a film. So yeah, And Margot, I keep emailing her saying, oh, you should play this person. Or anytime I read about somebody interesting, I can totally see Margot can fit any image of a person, I think, in my head.
Someone like my godmother still sends me like newspaper clippings of stuff that she thinks I find interesting.
Oh, that's nice.
We're asking people at the moment if they could star, if they wish they could have starred in any film of all time, which film do they wish they could have starred in?
I mean, I was obsessed when I was growing up with Calamity Jane, and I've got an inner cowgirl, definitely, so I kind of quite fancy that.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Cheers, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey You Guys!